Hello guys, today we will take a look at the recently released Slice68 HE from Chilkey. This is my first keyboard from Chilkey and I was really curious to try a product from them after all the hype around the Slice75 HE that they released around 1 year ago and went super popular. So let's get into this. This keyboard has a 68% layout, has an aluminum case, and first thing first I want to say that it actually feels quite heavy compared to any other all-effect keyboard that I've ever owned. And to be honest, not in a bad way. I'm actually a fan of this because this gives you the feeling that you're dealing with a premium product. So I'm actually a fan of this. For the switches, this keyboard is featuring the WS Flux switches. These switches are quite light. They have an initial force of 35 grams plus minus 5, and they are pre-looped from factory. I'm actually a fan of these switches. You can judge the sound yourself soon, but in my opinion, they sound very great. These switches feature an Octagon stem design, and this new design is supposed to reduce stem wobble, and in my opinion they achieved the goal, so that's a pretty nice detail to see from Chilkey. I will drop a sound test for you guys, so that you guys can hear how the keyboard sounds. So to customize all your settings, you need to click on Chilkey console from their website, chilkey.com, and click on the Slice68 HE web driver. You need to connect your keyboard, and here you will be able to customize all your settings. In the first tab, you can customize your lightnings. You have quite a lot of options to choose from. I will skip overall this tab as I'm not too interested into, and I think most people are here to check the performance tab. In the first page, you can set the normal travel settings. You can select whole keys and reduce the global travel down to 0.005. Here you can set the rapid trigger settings. The first trigger stroke, you can adjust how many millimeters you want to press to activate the switch. I personally play on 0.1 normally on all keys, and the same goes on for the rapid trigger reactivation and deactivation. Cool thing is that you can go down to 0.005 millimeters, and in case you misclick or you want to adjust the settings, you can do it with increments of 0.005, so that's pretty cool to see. There is also an autosave feature. Overall, this software is pretty cool. This WebDriver is pretty cool, and I'm actually a fan of it. In the advanced settings page, you can set the dead zone in case you're dealing with accidental clicks. I suggest to use it to 0.2 millimeters, but since I'm not having any accidental click, I'm not using it, and I'm leaving it at 0.00 millimeters. And down here, you can set the polling rate, and I suggest you to leave it at 8 kHz, as that's giving you the least input delay possible. In the next page, you can calibrate your keyboard, and that's something I suggest you to do once you plug in your keyboard or once you update your firmware, so that you will not encounter any kind of issue. In the remap tab, you can obviously remap your keys, and in the advanced functions tab, you can set things like the SOCD, and I will show you how to do that. Basically, you click on any of the keys, you press on SOCD, and you select the two keys that you want. So for example, you want it on A and D, you drag A and drag D, and leave it at last input priority. This way you will have the SOCD on A and D. You can also set it on other keys if you wanted to. For example, on W and S, you drag W and then you drag S. And always leave it at last input priority. This settings is obviously very good, and I suggest you to get used to it, as it's giving a quite noticeable advantage in games like Valorant or Overwatch. Here you can set macros, and here you can update your firmware. So in general, I'm quite satisfied with the software, especially with the performance tab. I had no issues at all.
and it's quite easy to change your settings or to adjust them in case you're dealing with some kind of issue. So I'm pretty satisfied with it. So in terms of performance, I tried this keyboard mainly on Fortnite. That's the main FPS game that I play. In Fortnite, most of the players are either using the Apex Pro 10 keyless or the wooting 60 or 80 HE. I was personally maining an Apex Pro, and I thought that was the peak he could reach in terms of gaming experience and performance wise. But that was until I tried this keyboard, because this keyboard, in my opinion, is beating the Apex Pro in any aspect. Performance wise, it's obviously very close, but in terms of feeling, this keyboard feels much more premium. The typing experience is way better, and the sounding of the switches and in general the keyboard is much better. So yeah, like overall, I don't see a single reason to return to my Apex Pro, and I will definitely keep playing on this keyboard. So in conclusion, do I recommend this keyboard? If you're fine paying the price tag of $200 and you're looking for a new all effect keyboard, I believe that this keyboard is 100% worth the money. Chilkey is able to deliver a very high quality product, and you can clearly tell that they know what they are doing. So thanks for watching this review. This was my first keyboard review. I know that it probably wasn't that great, but if it was any helpful, I would really appreciate a like and a subscribe. And see you in the next one, guys. Peace.